Welcome everybody to Season 1 of Break Up the Daily Grind. If you are just joining us for the very first time, I would like to say hello.
Howdy, partner.
We are glad you found us. In the big, abysmal abyss of the internet, you found us, and we are so glad you did. My name is Ben, and my co-host across the table is Corey. Corey, how you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah? Life treating you good?
Well, now I'm bad.
Life would be great if people had communication, huh?
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I think we all can attest to that 100%.
Hitting the nail right on the head.
Oh, man. As long as it's not my thumbnail, we are good to go. So, before we get started with today's topic, we would like to let you know that today's episode has been brought to you by
the Happy Household Podcast. Happy Household Podcast is a couple that wants to share the things in their life of challenges that have helped them make a home into a happy household.
Yes, they do. And now, this bit of dad jokes is going to be dedicated to...
Yeah, this week of dad jokes are dedicated to Scott Sr. We know that you and your family are going through a extremely challenging time and that you are in our thoughts and prayers. Our prayers are for the coming weeks to show you love, compassion, and comfort for the future. Stay funny, my friend.
That's right. Stay funny, my friend. Remember that if you have a person you want to recognize, send us a brief dedication and we will do our darndest to make sure that it is put on with our episodes. You can do that by sending it to us at mo9studios@gmail.com. All right, so Corey.
Ben.
Are you ready for some awesome dad jokes?
I am.
Well, good. The door's right there. You're going to have to go out and find your own. No, I'm just kidding. So, all right. So, I went to the aquarium this weekend. You ever been to the aquarium?
Yeah.
Yeah? I didn't stay very long. There was something fishy about that place.
Okay. I like it. Classic, clean, straight to the point.
Yeah?
Dad joke.
There you go.
Need more of those.
What do you call a sheep that sings and dances?
What do you call a sheep that sings and dances?
Lady Baba.
Oh my gosh, these ones actually make sense.
I had to do a little more research, you know. I had to get rid of the dumb ones, you know, so we can get back to the good ones.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. So, why should you never take sides in an argument at the dinner table?
Why?
Okay, well, this is a trick question. It's the perfect time to take sides because no one's paying attention, so make sure you bring Tupperware.
Okay. All right. These ones are cooking right now.
You cooking?
Mm.
All right. And this one...
Just don't burn it.
this one here is going to be... This one here... I tried to pick one because the Scott Sr. He's a little older than I am. So, I wanted to pick one that I thought that he might find funny.
Yeah.
So, here we go. Sad news today. I broke up with my girlfriend Lorraine because I was seeing another girl named Clara Lee. But the good news is that now I can see Clara Lee now that Lorraine is gone.
That's so bad. Oh.
I probably should have sung that last line, but no. That would have just made it worse. Well, hopefully that put a smile on your face. I know it made me shake my head a few times. And now with that out of the way, we're going to get back with our topic for today, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to do some more subreddit stories, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, from the Am I the Asshole subreddit, not quite the asshole yet, but they want to know, would they be the asshole? So, would I be the asshole if I told my husband he is bathing wrong?
My question would be, and I'm sure they're going to get into this, so I probably should keep my mouth shut, but how do you bathe wrong?
I assume you take a shower and you still come out smelling funky.
Well, if that's the case, then you didn't shower, did you?
I'm not sure how you bathe wrong either.
Well, let's find out what the poster said.
Yeah. I, 31 female, and my husband, 31 male, have been together a total of 2 years, but we've known each other for about 20 years. He has been complaining that his side of the bed smells and his towel smells. I'm very diligent on changing the sheets every 2 weeks, if not every month, and wash towels diligently as well. He doesn't use any... He doesn't use any loofah or washcloth to bathe, just his hands with a bar of soap. I've been told that could be why when he sweats, he doesn't smell great. I'm trying to figure out how to say it nicely without being mean, because I know it could hurt his self-esteem. Would I be the asshole if I gave him a loofah or something and say it's because you don't use this kind of stuff and this is why you stink? Or am I wrong altogether? Side note, with people saying change sheets more frequently, I try. I have a disability that makes doing that a little difficult, so I need help, and I tend to nag when I need to do it. I'd say, I'm just
first off, I don't believe a thing about the loofah or the washcloth.
No?
No. If he's using the soap right,
Mm-hmm.
that shouldn't be it. My thing would be, how often is he showering? Because they didn't say that.
Yeah.
And the second thing is, what is this man eating?
That's true.
Because if you're eating some really funky stuff, some spicy, something that smells really pungent, you're gonna sweat that out, right? Especially if it's like high onion, high garlic, it's gonna come out through your skin.
Yeah.
Anything kind of vinegar based, that's gonna add. The soap's not gonna get rid of that, right? The minute you start sweating, it's gonna come right out.
Well, I mean, the one thing I'd say that a loofah helps with, that kind of a smooth bar of soap doesn't help with, is that the loofah, the way it's designed with how like the material and stuff, it's meant to clean off any dead skin.
Right, but the dead skin wouldn't be causing the smell per se. I mean, as far as I know,
I don't know either. I just know that I feel a lot more clean when all the dead skin.
You feel better.
Yeah, so I'm not saying it's likely the issue. I'm just saying that's kind of more so what I've seen the loofah used for, is if like it helps get rid of it. It helps
exfoliate the skin.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, for sure. Hands down, you're gonna feel better. You're gonna feel cleaner. It's going to make your skin look better, but I don't think it's going to stop the smell. It's either the soap. Maybe he's using the kind of soap that doesn't have any perfumes in it.
Yeah.
So that's not helping.
It's not scented.
Right. So it's not helping, right?
Yeah.
And then if he's not using deodorant, because there's been days I've taken a shower, and no matter if I forget to put the deodorant on after, I'm busy, jump in the shower, jump right out in a hurry, forget the deodorant, in about 3 hours, I can smell myself.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true too.
That's
yeah.
The other
I still use deodorant after, because there are some times where you can scrub, but certain parts are just gonna smell. Yeah. You need the deodorant, especially your pits.
Yep. Always
need deodorant when it comes to even after the shower. I'll throw on deodorant. I don't know if that's just me, but
yeah, I've noticed that before. And the thing about the washcloths and the loofah, you have hand soap, right? You don't use that stuff with hand soap. I don't know. I've done it before. I've actually smelled my hands afterwards. And if the soap is scented, right?
Yeah.
You'll definitely smell that. Now, the one thing I just thought of is that sometimes the soap will interact with your body's chemicals.
Yeah.
Right? That might be where the smell is coming from. So maybe just a simple change of bar soap. Change to a different kind of bar soap. See if that works.
Yeah. And I also, not really about her husband smelling, but the people that said to change the sheets more frequently. Right. 2 weeks is perfect.
Yeah.
There's
Unless you're working in a dirty factory.
Yeah.
Where you come back home and then you don't shower before you get in.
Yeah.
But if you're showering before you get into bed, dude, 2 to 3 weeks shouldn't be a problem.
Even a month, to be honest. But I wouldn't go more than a month.
As long as you're a clean person.
Yeah. I usually do 2 weeks to a month.
Yep.
For my
there's
sheets,
nothing wrong with that.
I think that's fine.
Yep. Too bad we couldn't tag this cast and send it right to the person. Huh?
I know, right? That brings up another thing. Like, you seem like a much more confrontational person, like better with confronting people than I am.
Right.
At least. How would you, like, if your partner was like not smell or was smelling and stuff?
Well, the first thing I would do is I would change the soap and not say anything.
Really?
Yep. Just straight out change the soap. And they go, hey, what happened to this? I'm like, you know what? I just wanted to try something different. Right? And if that works, the whole situation is null and void.
Fair enough. What if they don't like the soap what if they like the soap that they use, though? And they don't want you to change it?
I wouldn't buy it.
No?
I would buy the soap that I wanted. Unless they have sensitive skin.
Yeah.
Or something. Now, there's a few people that and you know, it doesn't say this in the post, but I have talked to people that are really naturalists, right? Like they make their own soap.
Yeah.
And they do this whole natural thing. And you know what? Them people smell bad. Even if they do keep clean. It's something to do... because a lot of that natural stuff, that really natural stuff, doesn't have the perfumes in it that the soaps nowadays do, which I understand why they don't use it, right? But the problem is that if they are using those natural-based soaps, it may not make a difference.
Yeah, that's true.
Y'all might smell funny, and at that point. That's a tough one. Somebody might have to be the asshole on that one.
You get into... there is a point where you just start overthinking this stuff. Because it's really not that hard to just buy something at the store and just clean yourself.
Well, the people that are into that natural stuff, they don't want the processed chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want that on their skin. And I get that. Especially if you have sensitive skin.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you're doing it just because you don't want to do that stuff, I totally get that, right?
Yeah.
You know, use whatever you want. But if you smell that funky, 6-foot rule will have to go into play. Yeah. And as if for my better half, that might be a little bit of a tough conversation to have. But
yeah,
I know that the confidence and the communication that me and Amy have is strong enough that if something smelled bad, I'd be like, at some point in time, she's going to say something, right? Because there's going to be signs of like, I don't like that smell. I just don't.
Yeah.
I love you to pieces, but that smell is just, it's a little rough for me. And, they might get their feelings hurt, but if you hold it in and you don't say something, it will build resentment. And the resentment will be far worse for she said she's married, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be far more detrimental to the marriage than just coming out and saying it in the first place.
Yeah. Communication is key.
Communication is extremely the key. All right. Am I the asshole for telling my dad that I hope my future husband never treats me the way he treats my mom? This one ought to be a good one. Okay, for context. My dad and I, she's an 18-year-old female, always have been very close. We have a great relationship, and he has always been an amazing father to me and my siblings. He has always supported me and is there for me, which a lot of times my mom fails to do. My parents have been together for 20 plus years, and I have unfortunately been a witness to so many arguments. Lately, I've gotten older, and I've noticed how weak their relationship is. I seriously wondered if they hate each other several times. Even when they're on good terms, I can sense the weird tension between them. They just seem miserable together. The other day, I was eating in the kitchen, And they got into an argument while I was sitting directly between them. That's a bad spot. My dad was using his typical manipulation tactics toward my mom, saying things like, "I'll just never ask you to do something for me ever again," simply because my mom was too busy to help him with something. She was obviously upset at his words, which anybody would be, and it really started to upset me. I put myself into their argument defending my mom. At this point, my dad was furious at the both of us. I just wanted to get out of the house. As I was leaving, I told them I hope my future marriage never turns out like theirs. And I looked at my dad and told him that he made me question what I want out of a future husband, because I could never be spoken to in the way that he speaks to my mom. After the words came out of my mouth, I regretted it. Even though it was my honest truth, he just looked distraught. He's now giving me one-word answers anytime I speak to him, which is unusual, as we usually banter back and forth. I already apologized about what I said, but it seems that there's nothing else I can do.
Just the title alone made me reflected a lot.
Reflected?
Yeah. I don't know. The first thing I thought of when you read the title was Grandma and Grandpa.
Oh, hands down. Matter of fact, I even told your mom, right? I says, if you ever treat me the way your mom treats your dad, it's going to be a short trip.
Yeah, and that's kind of the whole. That's like the sense that I got, because it that is a manipulation tactic, like right. The part you read where he's like, well, I guess I'll just never ask you.
But here's my thing, and this doesn't tell us, right? This doesn't give us a clear picture of who's doing the manipulation.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right? Because there's a lot of time, if you want to use your grandparents as examples, there's quite a few times that your grandpa needed help or wanted help, but he didn't get it.
Yeah.
Right? And you and I both know who the manipulator in that marriage is. I'm not going to call names or whatever. We know who the manipulator is.
Yeah.
Right? So this posting doesn't tell us who the manipulator is. It just gives us a one argument, yeah, right? And it doesn't really tell us how it started.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and there could be total bias if the daughter likes the mom more.
Well,
too, it depends. You don't know the dynamics of the relationships between all of them.
And to be honest with you, that's kind of off on the side anyway.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, she's asking if she is the asshole for telling her dad that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
She's basically telling her dad that she wants better. And you show me a parent that doesn't want that for their kid in the first place. And if the parent gets upset at that, then maybe that parent is the manipulator.
Yeah.
Because they're not happy. And sometimes, some situations, if the manipulator's not happy, they don't want anybody else to be happy.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? So, no, I don't think she's the asshole at all. I think it's great that this, especially for 18 years old, right? She knows what she doesn't want. She can cut that right out of the whole list of dudes, girls, whatever she's into. She's going to see exactly what she doesn't want.
Makes things a lot easier down the road.
Yeah. And as long as she's up front with whoever she's with, say, hey, no, I don't. This isn't going to fly with me. She can be far better off. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And I think deep down, the parents will appreciate the fact that she's got that. You're bound to break your parents' nose once in a while, and that's metaphorically speaking, because we've had that discussion before.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean, you and me have done it before.
Yeah, I don't think you've ever broke my nose.
What do you mean?
Like, metaphorically speaking, say stuff that actually really hurt me deeply.
Oh,
right?
okay. I was just more referring to like getting into arguments.
Yeah, arguments, it comes and goes.
Yeah.
The arguments is not the thing, but he is obviously treating his daughter different after what she said.
I see what you're saying. Where
So
like
his feelings got hurt
yeah,
bad.
but
right?
he's not saying it outright.
Well,
yeah.
and most men probably won't,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So it will get better with time, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as she treats him the same way she always has, I think eventually he'll come around.
Yeah.
Unless he's the manipulator.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If he's the manipulator, he may always, from here on out, treat her that way. But I don't think she should feel bad about it. I really don't.
No, I don't think so either. Because, let's just say if he is the manipulator and stuff, and she's kind of taken her stance and let him know where her stance is. I feel like if he was it'd be a lot harder to manipulate now.
Right.
This
is not the asshole. If more people considered whether they would want their children or their child to treat their partner the way they're allowed themselves to be treated, the world would be a better place. And I think that's there's quite a few of them that say the same thing. I think we're trying to say the same thing.
That's a definitive characteristic of a good parent, is even when you and me butt heads and, got into arguments and stuff about things, all of it, your intentions were always because you want me to turn out better.
Right.
You
always.
want, in the end, it was always because like you cared, and you're like, I know you can achieve more than I did.
Most definitely.
Yeah. And it was never about and I think in regards to a parent who is upset because they know their kid can do better than them, and a parent who's upset because they don't want their kid to do better than them, I think that's a definitive characteristic to a good parent.
I mean, regardless whether the relationship between him and her actually gets better or not, I think is kind of relevant.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they're that person, if they're the parent that doesn't want you to be better than them, they hope you fail. They're like rooting for you to fail because
worry about being
you don't want to be around them anyways.
Right.
You know what I mean? So regardless, because like you said, you'll figure out here soon anyways.
Right.
Based on how if it's just a spat and he's not actually like that, he's not a manipulator and stuff, he'll come around again.
Yeah. His feelings may have gotten hurt, but it may not be necessarily all from the daughter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Some of that might be from the wife as well, right? Because they're fighting, and every time you get in an argument with your significant other, there's always feelings and frustrations that are going to come out.
Mm-hmm.
He may be just trying to process. Give him time. If he comes around, he comes around. If he don't, you know what you're looking for, and hats off to you, young lady.
Am I overreacting? My husband changed the PIN on his phone before a hospital procedure. My husband was admitted to the hospital for health issues. He is young, but was diagnosed with heart failure. Ooh, yikes.
Ew, that's scary.
A few days ago, he had some chest pains and low blood pressure. I told him he needed to go in, and at 4 a.m., he was admitted. The doctor decided a procedure that would put him under was needed for answers. He had to leave his phone and belongings. His phone rang while he was out, and I missed it. So I went to check to see who called, and when trying to put in the PIN, got an error that the PIN was incorrect. I didn't expect that because his PIN has always been the same for the last 2 years. Am I overreacting and overthinking this PIN change? It was the same PIN 2 nights ago, and now I'm worried that something is happening behind my back. Sure, I know I need to talk to him, but due to the circumstances, I will need to wait a while until he's stable again. It's just weird, We've had issues with his infidelity in the past prior to marriage. Oh, geez. Well, that's not a good sign.
Red flag.
I did forgive him. Please be kind. Maybe I'm just a mixture of nerves, lack of sleep, and stress. I love him, and I'm truly worried about his health. We have kids. Oh, that's another whole can of worms, too.
Sure is.
So there's a lot going on in our life. Okay.
Well, if there is issues with fidelity, then she has all rights to be nervous.
Yeah, my first question is to you, if someone cheats, do you think they can change, or is it once a cheater, always a cheater?
Neither.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll explain. Cheating, whether they cheat or not, is irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
It's whether the trust can be there. For me, myself, if my significant other cheats, it's not whether they can change or not. It's whether I can trust them to change.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That is a very, very hard bar to reach. Once the circle of trust has been broken, it is astronomically hard to fix. That will always be in the back of your head, no matter how long it is. You know, eventually it might fade a little bit, but it's always going to be there, right? You're always going to have to look at that flag because that trust has been broken. So it doesn't matter whether that person can change or not, because anybody can change, right? It boils down to the fact of the trust. Do I trust my partner to be trustworthy and not do that again? And more times than not, I have found that the answer is no.
I mean, how are you supposed to trust somebody after they've just broken one of
the most sacred trusts of all?
Exactly.
Reasons, situations, all play a factor.
Yeah. So I would assume, for example, she said they have kids. I feel like that is a factor that would fall into it.
You should never use that as an excuse to trust your partner.
You don't think so?
No.
No?
Nope. Because if you can't trust your partner, how can you trust your partner with your kids?
That's fair.
Even though the situations are different, there's still lying going on. It's lying has been part of the past. So regardless,
I guess I'm too forgiving of a person sometimes. So in my mind, there's terrible people that'll do terrible, terrible things.
You're absolutely
right. And
right.
it's hard for me to think of someone that would be capable. But the sad reality is it's possible. It's totally possible. But it's very hard to conceptualize someone who would poison their own children just to get back at their ex-partner or their husband or wife because they're resentful that they got caught.
I don't know how many times I've seen that happen.
Yeah, and that kind of, it's hard to wrap my head around how someone could be that
hateful,
that type of monster.
But they're there.
Yeah.
And the thing is that, you know, as you asked me if it's possible, it really, what I do and what you do are different.
Mm-hmm.
So the forgiveness and the trust that's given is based on the person that has to give it.
Yeah.
Right? If you can give that trust, good for you. Myself?
Oh, I'm not saying you can forgive people and still not trust them.
Right. But I mean, in order for a relationship to work, there has to be trust.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think I couldn't trust someone who cheated. I don't.
It's extremely difficult.
Yeah.
It's not something that you just do, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. I just don't know if I can do it.
I don't think I could do it.
So, I mean, if she can do it, if she can trust her husband, good for you. Right?
Mm-hmm.
The possibility of that trust festering, I mean, it's doing it now, right?
Yeah.
She's already having issues. The problem is that unfortunately the kids will always get the brunt of that. Regardless of what the two parents' positions are, the kids will always get that brunt. they will always be the victim in that situation, no matter whether it's good, bad, indifferent. It doesn't matter. So she needs to think long and hard, not only for her happiness, but for her kids.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm divorced. I have kids with other ex-wives, and for the most part, there's no animosity there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say I was a good dad, but right, because I feel like I'm tooting my own horn, but I have been told by you guys, not just you, but the other two as well, that you guys thought I did a good job. I was a good parent, right? Even though I wasn't there all the time, and I could have done better. We all could have. This man might make a weekend dad better than he makes a husband.
Yeah.
Right? We don't know that. So then it has to be based on her happiness.
Obviously, we're kind of maybe jumping the gun a little bit because there's no stone solid proof that he's cheating.
No. He may have just forgot it, changed it, and forgot to tell her.
Mm-hmm.
That's happened to me all the time.
Oh, yeah. I will say it's kind of weird that 2 nights, before this proceed, because I'm just thinking about like all the I'm a chronic overthinker.
Oh, me too.
You know.
Yep.
Why change it 2 nights before when you're going to be incapacitated and you know that there's a chance that
somebody can look through your phone.
Your phone can be looked through and you can't stop it.
But see, that's where that little seed draws power from, right? It may be something as simple as, because I've been through surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Just before you go in, especially something as dramatic as he's got going on, can be highly stressful for him.
Yeah.
He may just straight out forgot the pin.
Yeah.
And then forgot to tell you about it. So you're going to have to go off of the history in between those times.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know people that have been cheating the entire time and got really good at hiding it. So I've seen it from both perspectives.
Yeah.
So it's going to really be based off what she thinks and what she believes, and she needs to trust her gut.
Yeah. Another thing is, too, I feel like with a lot of these stories about cheating or infidelity and stuff, too, is usually there's a lot more build-up to it. Like, there's other things.
But there was. She said that it's happened. It's been questioned in the past.
No, she said that it did happen in the past. But, I mean, like, I feel like if he was doing it again, there would be signs. She'd probably know the signs, but it seems like this is the first, somewhat.
I'll give you an example.
Solid sign, but it's also possible he could have got better at it now that he did it once.
See, I know somebody that they were married, and it took quite a few years before she caught him.
Mm-hmm.
She caught him. She called him out on it. He's like, "I'll be straight and narrow," right? So the flag and the overthinking, because she's an overthinker too.
Yeah.
She was on point. She watched every step he did. She was watching, right? For years, she actually thought he straightened his shit out. Come to find out, all those years, he had multiple girlfriends.
Oh my God.
He figured out how he got caught and figured out how not to get caught again. But eventually he did slip up, right?
Yeah.
And he got caught again, and that was it. It was all done. But just because you think they're flying straight and narrow, you really have to really pay attention to what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you have to be that overbearing overthinker that's just straight up, neck deep in his crap.
Yeah, but at what point is that no longer worth it?
That's my point.
That's like if you have to constantly monitor your partner to make sure that they're not going out and cheating, where's the love at that point? Where's the trust? Where's the trust? Where's the relation?
It's not there.
How are you even happy at this point?
You're not.
If your days are just anxiety filled, know?
Oh, 100% agree. And that's where I said I don't.
Is it just these people they get hooked on it? They think that it's just if they leave, they'll never find somebody else again. That, you know, or that's like that's the best they can do right there. And if they let it go, then that's going to be it.
Well, I can tell you from the people that I was just talking about, the first time she let it go was for her kids.
Okay.
Right? Because she didn't want her kids growing in a broken home. And I understand that. But I believe that, and it's not always the case, but using those definitions can cause more issues than just splitting it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I couldn't do it. I've had previous relationships that I was sitting in her spot. And after several years of therapy, go get therapy, I came to the conclusion that no, it doesn't matter whether it's right, even if you think it happened and it actually didn't. In your mind, that trust is broken.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not any coming back from that. So no, I don't think she's overreacting. I think she's protecting herself, and good for you.
Yeah, I don't think it's an overreaction too. I think it's understandable to be nervous about the situation, especially if it's been the same pin for 2 years and suddenly it changes the moment when he knows he's not going to be able to have full access to see who gets on his phone or know where his phone is at or who's touching it.
Well, that brings up a valid point. If it's been straight for 2 years and 2 days before surgery, I honestly think that maybe he just, under the stress, forgot his PIN and changed it.
Yeah.
Yep. And maybe forgot to tell her, or maybe did tell her, and with the stress from the surgery, maybe she didn't catch it. That's a very high possibility.
I don't know. This one seems kind of far-fetched, but like, I don't know. What if because he's going in for a medical procedure, you know, and what if he like was doing some research on his procedure, or like what he's doing, and you know how WebMD can be when it comes to that. Maybe he found something,
or maybe the kids tell you about something that stresses you out for surgery.
Yeah,
Corey.
Yeah, and you see that, and you're like what? You know,
I don't want her to see that.
You can gaslight yourself into like, oh, I'm gonna die or something, you know, or like, oh, the mortality rate for this treatment is really high, and it's just like you stress yourself out about it, and you get really nervous about it, and then you're like, you don't want them to see, and you don't want them to know why you're nervous or acting weird and stuff, and so you're getting ready, you're getting prepped for your surgery, or you're getting ready for surgery, or it's coming up soon, you change your PIN because you don't want them to see why you're stressing and stuff.
That's not a reason to change your PIN, especially if you've been married for that long.
Yeah. I don't know. That's why I said it was a long shot. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, I know surgery will make you do some weird stuff, though. It is stressful for sure.
So the top comment on this said, before a major surgery, I would be making sure my spouse had my passwords in case anything went wrong and they needed access to my stuff.
Right.
Another comment said, I'm not going to even address the cheating stuff. I'm just going to point out something else. After this procedure, you need to be on the same page about that. My mom just died last month, and literally the fact that we had her PIN was the most important thing ever. We would have been f***ed without it. Bills, accounts, things as simple as Netflix. Everything was tied to being able to get into her phone and email. Like, I do not know how my dad would have survived if he was locked out of her phone. That is an absolute must for married people.
Agreed.
Yeah. So I didn't even think about that, too. Just like if something were to go wrong and suddenly you can't get access to all their information or things that you need. Yeah, that'd suck, too.
Well, it's like when I went for surgery for my last one.
Yeah.
I actually put Amy on the deed to the house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the possibility of something going wrong during my surgery was extremely slim. Mm-hmm. It was like 0.5% or something like that. It was really small.
Yeah.
But the possibility's still there.
Mm-hmm.
So if something happens to me, that means she's got to turn around and move the kids again. I don't need the house.
I'm dead.
I'm dead. I do not need the house. You might as well stay here, right? She had all my other information.
Yeah.
That way, the probate courts and stuff couldn't take it from the bank. Couldn't take it from her.
Yeah.
Because she actually owns part of the house. So it is very important when you go surgeries like that. That kind of information
just in case worst case scenario.
Because we don't know the outcome. So there's always that possibility.
Yeah, I know. I'd say not overreacting for that one at all.
No. Okay, it says, am I the asshole for gatekeeping my travels with my in-laws? So, am I the asshole for gatekeeping my travels with my in-laws? My in-laws are very nice people, and they treat us well. My only problem is, whenever my husband and I plan our trips, they always book the same trip and make it earlier than ours, and flaunting it around other people that they are going there first. I find it annoying that whenever they come back from the trip, they already spoil us with itineraries, telling us what places are nice, where to eat, where to go, what to buy. It somehow spoils the excitement that I feel towards that trip. This happened to 3 trips already. All the trips that went on with my husband. If we book a trip in April, they book the same one in March. This time, I told my husband that we should keep our next travel plans a secret from my in-laws. Yeah. No, what you do, now this is what you do. So you don't have to keep them a secret. You just tell them that you're taking the trip in August and then take it in April instead.
Yeah, and by the time they plan to go in May,
you're already back.
Good.
And then you can spoil it for them. Like, oh, dude, we just got back from that place. It's great.
I want to give the benefit of the doubt that, like, they're not doing it on purpose, and that they're just like, they went. I want to think of it like they're going to check it out, and make sure, like,
make sure they get the full experience.
Make sure, let's go check it out for them. We'll find all the good stuff so that they don't waste their time, and we'll find, and we'll come back and we'll tell them, all this, and like it's almost like a weird passive aggressive trip planning. Like they're doing it to plan a trip for them when they go. They're like, oh, you don't got to do this. We know all the hot spots already.
Right.
But I don't think that's the case.
I think
here
everything
at all.
You said is hogwash.
I think so too. That's just like what I would like to believe.
Yeah, there's no way that
3 times in a row.
The last 3 trips.
Oh my
that they have done, the in-laws went first, and then they spoiled the whole itinerary, which it sounds like they're doing those really nice trips that that I can't afford.
Yeah,
that actually has an itinerary.
Yeah.
And the good thing about some of those trips is there's several things that the in-laws probably didn't do that they could. It would help that, but I don't think she's being the asshole for doing that. I don't think I would like that much either.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Because it does. It spoils it.
Right.
Because part of going on vacation is it's supposed to be an adventure, Obviously, some stuff being planned, but part of the fun is like getting there and discovering all the stuff that's around there, have like a base plan of some stuff, but like, enjoy some spontaneous stuff too.
Right. I can think of a couple of things that I think that would be good for. Like, I would love to do a cruise.
Yeah.
And it would be cool if I knew somebody that went on that cruise before.
Yeah.
So I could say, hey, what can I expect?
Yeah.
Right?
Was it any good?
Was this cruise any good? How was the food? Right. So I know what to expect.
Where'd you guys dock at and everything?
And that would be kind of cool. But if you're doing, for the first one, it'd be cool, right? Because then you have that information to go off of. But if I'm booking another cruise, don't do it again.
Yeah.
I don't need you to do it again. I mean, if you really wanted to do it very passively, you could say, you know what, we're planning this trip. How about we just we'll just reserve it for 4 and then just plan to go at the same time.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right?
But I mean, some people don't want their in-laws to go with them on there.
Trust me, I know. But, even though that they go with, I mean, depending on how these people really are, I mean, I know a lot of nice people that there's no way in hell I'd vacation with.
Yeah.
Right? So I get that part. But, I mean, if you're going to do something, I mean, if you want to try to share the experience, that's what I would recommend doing as a group. But if you want to go with just you and your spouse, then I just, telling them that you're going is great, right? I just wouldn't tell them when.
I wouldn't either.
Or for later. Tell them you're going later.
Tell them you're going, and then you're leaving in like a week.
Right. But see, you could even get really sly about that too. Say, well, we booked for August, or August or whatever, and they go, oh, that's great, because then they booked for June.
Yeah.
But you actually booked for April.
Oh, sorry, it moved up.
Say, hey, they called us. They had an opening and asked us if we wanted to go earlier. Something was wrong with that, whatever was going on. They had issues, and it was going to be down that week or something. Just come up with something. They overbooked for that weekend or that week or whatever, and say that they volunteered. They had an opening in April, and you just tell them when you get back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, that'll stop that right off the rip.
Yeah, after that point, I just wouldn't tell them until the week of.
Or tell them you're going on vacation. Just don't tell them where.
Yeah.
Say, well, I don't.
We're planning on going on vacation. We're still figuring out where, though.
Yep.
But I know. Yeah, I'd just say that. We want to go on vacation, but we're trying to
save up.
Yeah, we're saving up.
Haven't found the right deal yet.
Yeah.
Yep. And then just pull it last minute. No, I don't think she's that. But I do think that if that's the case, I think the husband should be saying something.
Yeah, I do. That sounds intentional.
Yeah.
What they're doing.
And he may not necessarily think much. He may not be very spontaneous.
Yeah.
He may not think nothing of it.
And
but
it's, like I don't know if it's, maybe they don't even realize what they're doing.
That's very possible.
It's very possible.
Yep.
Some people, like I said, it's very possible they could be going and they're like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. And then they get back and they're just saying like,
they're so happy.
They're excited.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. They want to tell everybody.
Yeah,
stuff,
for sure.
And like, maybe they think it's going to validate them. Like, oh, you guys chose such a good vacation spot.
Right. But 3 times?
3 times. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I could see maybe 1 time.
Maybe 2. The 3rd time? No, I wouldn't even attempt a 4th.
Maybe they went 1 time and like, wow, this was so good. We should steal their vacation ideas every time now. Yeah. 3 times? Wow. What's your guys' next vacation idea?
You know what? That seems a little late in the season. Let's shoot for a couple months before that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, for sure.
So, am I overreacting? Boyfriend says these messages are his friend using his phone. I dumped him and left him. 5 months later, he's still contacting me daily, telling me it wasn't him and I'm his soulmate. Do you think he's cheating, and am I overreacting? And so I'll read the messages.
Ooh, this ought to be good. I'm going to put my feet up for this. I got some popcorn.
So this is the boyfriend. I got you the Views pen. This is a vape pen.
Okay.
I'm at the gate. Okay. This is a different message, I think. Hey, Kate. We'll just use the... because they got the name blurred out.
Okay.
My whole dick is scraped up. I'm tripping. I need your help. And then the girl replies, I literally cannot help you. And then a different message from the girl. I truly have been tested on the 8th and not touched a human since. I've never had an STD. I have no idea. These messages are out of order, it looks like, because this is her. So she said, I have no idea what happened to your dick. I've never seen that before. And then it goes into, I've been tested on the 8th and not touched a human since. I've never had an STD. So I think this message is saying that he thinks he got an STD from this girl. He's asking. So, and then she said, can't chat. That's good to hear. And I think it's still out of order. These messages are. He said, "Yeah, everything will be taken care of. But when you can, please give me a call." And she said, "Can't chat. That's good to hear. All is good, but it'd be great if you could Apple Cash to cover for Plan B."
First off,
this is
some messy stuff. But first off, if your buddy is using your phone, no.
That's a terrible excuse.
That's a terrible
blatant
friend.
lie.
Right.
That's when you like send a message to your high school crush confessing your love for them, and then you say, and they don't respond for like 6 hours or never do. And then you send a follow-up message saying, "Whoops, that was a typo. Sorry."
Right.
Like, "Oh, I didn't mean to send that." Or, "Oh, sorry. My friend thought that would be funny to send." This is on that level.
Friend didn't send that. Friend didn't send any of that.
No, friend did not send any of that.
The first one, the vape thing, okay, maybe. But it would have to be a coworker or something like that. But no.
The top comment says, "Are you kidding me? There's no way this is real. You can't, there's no way you're actually asking if he cheated. It's so obvious."
Oh, 100%.
that this guy cheated. And he didn't use protection. Go get checked out and block him. Yeah. I always let my homies use my phone for highly personal conversations about strange happenings involving their dicks and surprise pregnancies.
I really hope that was sarcasm.
That is definitely sarcasm.
But I know a few people that they're not ashamed to do that. But that just, the first question out of my mouth would be, "Who's your friend?"
Yeah, who is the friend? This guy said, "What the f-? No one in their right mind would ever let their friend use your phone for this type of conversation."
No. Nope, not ever going to happen.
And then the person who made the post, she replied. She actually said, "I want to add, I spoke to the girl, and she said it was 100% him, and his friend didn't come over with him, like he said. He said she's mad because he was an asshole, and he said he was freaking out about the STD because they all shared the same vape. This was a one-night stand." And
STD is a sexually transmitted disease. The hell is he sticking that vape pen?
Some people are into some kinky stuff, I guess.
It must be it's either one awfully large vape pen or one very small tool. Yeah. And if it's that small, it's a good thing you got rid of him.
For real.
There's way better people than that.
Oh, hard pass.
Hard is not even the right terminology for that one. Yeah, no, that's straight up him. No doubts.
This person just said, "What the hell did I just read?"
I can't believe I just wasted that whole 5 minutes on that shit. You got crack, man.
Well, that's all I got for you.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think with that, Corey and I would love to say thank you for all that stayed to the end of today's discussion. We hope that you enjoyed our topic, and we hope that you join us next week for more conversation. We're not exactly sure where we're gonna go from here, but remember to like and follow us at Break Up the Daily Grind on Facebook, YouTube, and we are also on Spotify.
Oh yeah.
We would, if you're on Spotify, if you're listening on Spotify, we would love to have some stars. 1, 3, 5. We don't care. Stars just prove that you're listening, and that's what we like to know. You can also, as for Facebook and YouTube, you can leave us comments, give us new topic ideas, that would be great, because, we can't always think of it, and that helps us pick a topic that you guys would like to hear as well as we like to talk about. So we would love to hear from you for sure. And if you don't reach out for us on those social media platforms, you can also email us that same information at mo9studios@gmail.com. That is the letter M, the letter O, the number 9, studios@gmail.com. And with that, we would like to leave you with this thought of the week.
In the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln. I like it. And with that, we will see you next time.
Yep.
Bye.
Have a good one.